Hey, it's Jen. So today what I want to talk about is what if you start building your business and it's like nothing happens with it. It's unsuccessful and you just like theoretically you just waste an entire year building this business. I want to take some time to unpack that fear and unpack like what that is and where that's coming from. And so like as midlifers, right? And those of us that are 40 and older, you hear people say all the time that the most precious resource that you have is time, but it slaps differently. It hits differently at 40. I'm 48, right? 50, 60, 70, right? Like you can literally feel that time frame like shrinking. I think of it as like Star Wars, right? Like when they go into hyperspace, you can totally see when they go in and out of it, right? When they go into it, like your field is very expansive and it's widening, and then when they stop, it's like whoop, and it gets really small. We're in the whoop phase of our life where time is concerned, and it's a very valid question, and it's an extremely valid fear as well. It's a fear that I feel in spending time on this business, because obviously if I'm spending time on this, I'm taking time away somewhere else. And for me, it's 10 to 15 hours a week as well right now, because I still work full time, and I have all the trappings and the wonderful pieces of an adult relationship in middle age, and relationship to my life in middle age, and a life in middle age, right? That I can feel that time compress, and that scares the bejesus out of me. Don't get me wrong. And so I totally understand if it's also scaring you and you feel like this may be time wasted. But the aspect of this that I really want you to consider is, what if you don't? What if you don't start this business? What if you don't transition from your career to your calling? So to me, I got to a certain point with all of this that the what if became scarier than the scary part around spending the money is part of it too, because time is money and money is time in many respects. But really spending the time around this, and I decided that even if it's a fantastic failure, and I fail all the time, right? I fail every day, as a matter of fact, because I'm a very adventurous person, and I'm constantly putting myself out there in ways that make me uncomfortable. But then in addition to that, like I also just really love to learn. And so usually my desire to learn a thing and my appetite for adventure at some point with a thing, if it's a meaningful thing, overrides that fear. And that's where I got to. I got to a point where the possibilities started to override the fear. I got to the point where I was like, there's no possible way. There's no possible logical way. Now, you'll feel it emotional. So your emotions will feel all type of ways that this could be untrue or this could be false. But logically, I know there's no possible way that I can spend 12 months working on this video and this business and learning the business of helping coach and consult folks on how to start their business. It's impossible given all of the different aspects of that, from marketing to doing what I'm doing right now, right? YouTube, shooting videos, which is part of my marketing. That is my marketing plan. The organic growth of the thing, like the whole order to cash cycle and the nature of distribution for this business. It's impossible that I'm not going to learn at a minimum valuable skills in this journey. And so I've chosen to just try to stay patient and try to stay focused on the journey. and not the destination is so much. Like the destination is always riding around back here, because goals are important. Like I heard somebody say, I think it was Dan Coe actually more recently in an older podcast of his, that you can't have goals without having the desire to solve a problem. And for me, this is all about the desire to solve a problem. And more than likely, this is all about the desire to solve a problem in your life as well. And that problem may be related to time, it may be related to money, it may be related to wanting to explore a calling or a vocation versus, a job or a career. It could be a whole host of different things. But like it's a logical impossibility that you will spend 12 months on this and not gain anything at all. Because at a minimum, you're going to drastically level up skills, a whole bunch of skills. Because being an entrepreneur, having your own business requires this really robust skill set. And it's everything from sales and marketing to back-end operations, to front-end operations, to distribution of your products and services, to really supporting and nurturing folks and helping guide folks through their journey. And I can't think of anything that could be more fulfilling than that in terms of just any aspect of it, really. And that's both the blessing, and you could also say like the trauma or the overwhelm that comes with starting this type of business and being a solopreneur in this space, in that coaching, mentoring, guidance type space. But you can do this. You can do this because I can do this. And I'm showing you how I'm doing this. And it's through that showing, if nothing else, that you should have confidence that this is possible. And not just even possible, but with adequate time on task. And when I say adequate, I'm not talking like 12 hours a day, because none of us have that. But 10 to 15 hours per week, Monday through Friday, which, boils down to like 2.5, 3 hours a day, roughly. You can make this happen. You can make this happen and still have your weekends and still have your time with your family. You just have to be a little bit creative about how you maneuver your time around. So it's a mental and ideological impossibility that you will come away with this in even 1 month. Heck, this is my 3rd video that I've created. I've already learned a ton and experienced a ton emotionally and grown emotionally in the 3 videos that I've shot. And you might think that that's, again, impossible or crazy. But I heard Stephen Bartlett, who's with Diary of a CEO, say recently that only 1% of folks turn on the camera. So they only turn on the camera, only 1% post the video. They might even shoot the video, right? But then they don't post the video because they're overcome with emotions and fear around posting that video. But so only 1% ever get to this place where they're creating the content and they're putting the content out there. They're putting themselves out there. And it's impossible statistically that if only 1% of people get around to doing this, and you can type this into YouTube or wherever you most like to consume content. But there's all kinds of people out there now also posting videos that talk about, my growth, my business growth. I posted every day. My business growth was this. I posted it, once a week. My business growth was that type of thing. And all of them, regardless of how big or how small that is, talk about the crazy amount of benefits they've gotten from starting their business. And so for us, it's not just about YouTube, right? It's not just about posting videos. But what I'll get into in my next video is actually how I'm leveraging YouTube in terms of building in public, and how I'm leveraging YouTube as being my top of funnel, or you could also say really the piece of my flywheel. And I'll talk about what the heck the difference is between a flywheel and a funnel as well, in terms of getting momentum going and people understanding who I am in the world, and what it is that I'm doing and how I can help them. YouTube is the one platform, and I advocate that you keep it simple when you start. You just pick one that I've chosen to get that flywheel started, or get that movement down the funnel. And so, like I said, I'll be doing that in a video coming up here soon. So stay tuned for that if that topic is interesting to you. But like I said, I've had untold benefits in terms of just even understanding what my fears are deeply. Like, I'm afraid to post these videos too. I'm afraid that I'm gonna get like found out. I'm afraid that, like, you know, folks are gonna take me to be to some sort of an imposter in this, and they're not gonna believe that I am who I am. And I've had the experiences that I've had, but I choose to ignore that so that I can talk to you here every day and provide value and help you along your journey by first helping myself. So I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.